and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing our little tiles, and we're going to decorate them with Crayola crayon and add some bright and wonderful colors to these. These amazing little tiles I picked up from Michael's in their dollar section. Yes, in their dollar section. If you're lucky enough to find one of the old tiles, you can do this too as well. Though we are using melted Crayola crayon, it is part of what I call wax design. If you've never used it before, jump over to my website, miriamjoy.com. There's a video to explain the basics of that. It helps us keep these videos shorter for you so you can enjoy them. Now there is one thing that's a little bit different with us today, and I'm going to go ahead and show you, is when you're working with a wax design on metal or glass or any of those that is not absorbent, it is easier to knock off the strokes. And of course now it's not going to be that easy for me to do or hit them. So we're going to work a little bit different today, and we're going to fix that at the end by how we cover them at the end, what we put on afterwards. So we're going to start on the inside and work our way out. That way we're less likely to knock anything off as we're going. I'm using two different colors today that I normally don't work with. They're not in the 24 box. I'm working with copper, which is a metallic color, and I love them copper, and also turquoise. And it is the turquoise crayon, is not one that I have mixed using the blue, green, and the white. And I think that can be found maybe in the 64 box. So these are these are a little bit different colors. So I'm going to start with my number 2 tool, and I'm going to start in the middle. And these big guys, we're going to put lots of wax on them. In fact, I think on my other one I even switched up to the large end as well. You got to watch out because this is metallics drip a little bit more, so when you're using that larger end you got to be aware of that. And you can come in and we're going to put these little guys, so you can do a couple of them at a time before you need to load where normally you can't. Now some of the tins didn't quite come through on the area, so if there's an area that's flat that you know there should have been something there, just go ahead and go over the top of that. And you might want to think about that when you're looking at them and purchasing them. The rest of this tin did very well, the cutout part of it did. So we're going to go over to our number 0 tool, and I'm going to be using the larger end, and we're just going to go around and not make these guys perfect. They're just kind of supposed to be wispy and curly and kind of follow the direction of the tin that's pushed out. All the way around, trying to stay off of the inside as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and do that little guy because I think he kind of belongs in there. Sometimes you kind of just have to make a judgment call and just do that to the best of your abilities. Alright, so we've got that inside done now. I'm going to switch back over to my number 2 tool, and I am going to do the next layer, and kind of peeking here to figure out what I did. I'm going to do the bottom of kind of the fleur-de-lis shape guys here. A dot there, one there, one there, and I'm pretty sure I did these guys right here. put them down. I left those two little ones and did those in turquoise, but I did dot this one. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this guy is also done. And again, we're on the side already. So a stroke, stroke, dot, stroke. And what this does is also not only brings great color to it, but kind of gives it a whole new layer or dimension of the tile. And I recommend, if this is your first time doing one of these, to stick with the larger design like this one till you get comfortable with it. The one I have on the table is very small, a lot of detail in it, but it was also harder to keep the crayon in place when I started varnishing it. And I am going to varnish it with you today so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. There's a dot I missed over there. Oops, I'm not supposed to be in that part. I got that one mixed up, so I'm going to have to take that off. That is what is one of the greatest things about the Crayola crayon process is, first of all, it dries so fast that you hardly have to worry about it all. And if you make a mistake, you just take it right back off. And then you fix it. So that is really awesome. I'm going to make sure that I got all my dots, all of my other ones, and we're going to switch over now to the turquoise color. Put the rest of it on. I like the turquoise with the browns. I've been trying to do a gourd with the turquoise and the brown for a long time now and just have not got there. I don't know why. Make sure you load each and every time. And look at that great color that we're starting to get. Just curve those around. You could also make these little hangers. They do already have a little hanger on the back, but you also could put wire hangers and kind of twist and curl your wire, put some ribbon like raffia or beads or something like that. My husband asked me to make them, and he wants to hang them up separately with some space between them, but I also thought it would be really cool to put the 4 tiles together and glue them together and then hang them that way. So there's a lot of things you can do, and metal decoration is really hot right now. I love the metal look. I like the, I don't know, the texture, the design of it is really fun. Got one more section here and we are about done, but look how much that turquoise color just brings to this. It just gives it a whole new look. Got one more section here and then we're done. And then we are going to put a varnish over the top of it. And it dries so fast. As soon as it is dull, it is dry. This guy's already dry that we just did. That's, if it was paint, you'd be sitting here for an hour waiting for it all to dry. Now kind of look at, make sure you've got everything that we went over. And then I am going to take a triple thick, and I need to get a new bottle, but I have used this same bottle since before I started doing the videos, which is really, really great. Take your old brush that you're not concerned about getting bad, and lightly, and you want it kind of thick because you want to hold everything into place, brush this over the top of it. Don't worry about it being real even or having some high and low spots, because it's going to kind of fan out on its own once it starts to dry. Now it says, and I have done this, that you can apply different coats over 5 to 10 minutes. But it is still a little tacky, and I prefer to let it dry all the way and then come back in and apply my varnish again. And I would honestly like to do a minimum of 2 coats, probably 3. And my husband's going to have this in his jacuzzi room, so I probably will do 3, just to keep it nice and sealed. Now, once you're done with the inside part, you don't need as much on the edges where there isn't the ridges or the crayon. Just kind of bring that around a little bit. But see, I've really got a lot of texture onto the tin itself. And that's fine. You're keeping that crayon in place. And if you're going to happen to put this outside or in the sun, you want to make sure that you do 3 layers so that if the wax melts and try to move, that it has nowhere to go and it can't run on you. So it's real important to do that. Now, if you like the flat look and not the gloss look, after you're done with the different tins, simply just take your flat, like Krylon spray, and spray over the top of it again, and you dull it back down. So you still have the protection with the extra coverage, but it can be flat and dull. It does not have to be the glossy look. So it's kind of up to you what you like. Always test when you're mixing products, 2 different things together, even if they're the same brand, because they're always changing our products on us and we don't always know if they've changed it. So always do a test area. You might put some of this on the back, and then when you try to do that, spray it on that part first and test it. But here's the other one I was talking about. See, you have all these little dots, and they're so fragile anyway that you want to make sure that you don't here's one that escaped on me, that you don't knock one off. If you happen to knock one off while you were varnishing, just simply remove it, finish that layer of varnish, put the dot back on, and varnish again. It's not a big deal. You just don't want a stroke to be floating around somewhere that's not in the pattern itself. So if you have any questions about this fun project, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com. For any of the wax tools that we may have used today or mentioned today, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. These are custom tools just for this process. There's also the YouTube video link that takes you over to more fun YouTube videos that are educational about the process, as well as fun craft ideas for different holidays and just in general. There's also our Facebook link at Miriam Joy Gourd Creations, where we try to post something daily there for you. Thank you for joining me today. God bless.